Hello, it's Calvin here again. Just making little videos. I'm going to make little videos all the time to try to guide people to how to make their life a little bit better. You know what? We went through this lockdowns and stuff like this, and people lost it. People went a little bit crazy. I mean, it did affect everybody. It affected me. I got to admit, it stopped me. You know, when I should have not really stopped doing things. But I didn't really stop doing things. Actually, what it did is it got me going at different things. You know, like I built like three greenhouses. One right in COVID, one just at the end, sort of, when it was getting a little bit letting up a bit. And built a gazebo in the backyard for, to have little gatherings, when people weren't really even supposed to be having gatherings. But you know what? Did that, and also I got involved with a hall that allowed us to go in without any kind of so-called passports and stuff like that. So I got involved with it, and we started having, I started putting together things like this, making lists, and walked in there with a bunch of equipment. We got karaoke started, bands coming to the place. Kind of saved the place from extinction. This hall was pretty much in trouble, as most places were. But it helped get through it. You have to do things to keep your mind going in every situation. I personally have two friends. One year older than me, and he's a quadriplegic. He's been in the home for a lot of years already. He can't even move one finger. No fingers, just his neck a little bit. That's all, and he can talk and eat. So, I go and see him, and I get in the home right beside him. One of my other friends, a little bit older than me, had a stroke just over a year ago. He's basically pretty much in a wheelchair now. One arm hardly works at all, a little bit, and he can't walk. He can starting to get a little bit better. But you know what? These people, the quadriplegic, is hard to believe. People think, well, I want to die if I couldn't move anything, and they had to change my diaper every day, and then have a catheter in constantly, and somebody feed me, and somebody hoist me out of bed, put me in a chair, But people adapt, and you know what? And he's like happy, he's okay. He lives with just movies and stuff he watches, and friends come up and visit him sometime, family. And my other friend, he's had the stroke and everything. He seems to be all right. He's back into, turned as a little, he's got like a lighthouse keeping, like a care home sort of a thing where he pays so much, and they can come in and they can assist him if he needs it, and he gets a meal a day, and you know what? He's fixing computers now, and I go there. He's happy. He's satisfied. He's just like he always was. People can adapt. I mean, even like people adapt to different things, but and it takes time. And there's I'm saying, like, we feel like we're stuck, even though our bodies are working, and we can eat, and we don't really have any major health problems, and we're not starving, and the bills are paid, and we can get depressed, and we can look at ourselves as, what's wrong here? The fact is, we're not taking anything with us. We're living in this, and we can't take any of this material with us. As I said in my previous videos, when I was younger, before when I was like 30, just over 30, I had rental properties, I had business, automotive business, and painting cars and selling cars, and I was affiliating with different shops around that were trading off work for different things, and I was sitting in Florida. I was down there like 7 times in the winter time, sitting on the beach or up and down the canals just off of John Prince Park, and like out drift fishing on the drift boats and doing a lot of things. But those things, I actually got kind of tired of it after a while, and I got the notion and the rightful feeling that we can't take anything with us, and it was not really satisfying me. I was, like I'd go down there, and it was just like, hey, I'm here again. I'm like wasting time. What is this? This is just I don't know. But anyway, I was doing these kinds of things with lists and stuff years ago. I was looking to actually escape from this world because, I have an inferiority complex that was instilled in me when I was a very young child. Actually, at my first day in school, I was 6 years old. Mother never put me into kindergarten or anything. And I went to school with her first day to sign up. Mama takes the little boy to school, and there was a bunch of people and parents in the room, and there was 2 different teachers. There was one, Miss Wachikowski, and there was Mrs. Brown. And I remember my mother saying to me, which teacher would you like? And this Wachikowski, she had this nice blue velour sweater on. She had makeup on. Her hair was nice, and she had this big string of purple pearls around her neck, And my mother looks at me and she says, "Hey, which teacher do you think you'd like?" Well, I said, "Well, I'm 6 years old. I'll take the nice looking one, like." Oh God. Anyway, went to school. The first day, that next day, I guess it was, went to school, and the teacher handed out a little piece of paper, just a paper to, like a grade 1 test, just to write on and figure out your answers on. And those papers went up to the front. She'd mark each one of these papers, and then she called each kid up in a row, one at a time. And for every mistake, every mistake on that piece of paper, you got one whack on the hand with a ruler. And there I am sitting in this room, I recall that, watching each kid go up and get a beating, and come back crying. Some of them tried to put their head down, but you could see these kids were crying. And I went up there, and it was almost like unbelievable. Here I am. I was the executioner's in front of me, And hey, I got these whacks on the hand, and that changed my life pretty much forever. I didn't trust any kind of authority. I didn't collect any friends after that. I recall being out. Even I couldn't learn. They figured I was like unteachable somehow. Like I had mental issues, and yet they put me through IQ test, and I come up above normal. But anyway, it did some terrible things to me over my life, and I didn't have really. I only had a very few friends going through public school, just a very few. And I remember, like the next year, I was out in the playground, with the next teacher, of course, because my mother knew that something really bad happened to the kids at that school, and so anyway, I was put in the next class. I was failing constantly. They didn't think I could learn anything. But I recall being out in the schoolyard, and standing by a wall and looking at these kids, like they're playing and they're having fun, and I had this terrible fear of actually even going back in this school because I never knew what was going to hit. Anyway, I went through the whole lifetime, couldn't work for a boss because the boss was like the devil, and couldn't work, couldn't function properly and do my job. I liked cars, as most guys do, and I liked. I had a liking for art, sort of, and sculpture, so I got into bodywork, and that was all right. Except I couldn't work for a boss, so I went in, and I got to start into my own type of a business. So I found a partner, and we went into business, but in order for me, I couldn't even deal with customers properly. I was like, hey, they're over there, and I'm over here, and I need their money, and I like doing the work, but I don't know really how to associate with them. But anyway, I found a book. It was called Confidence and Power in Dealing with People by Les Giblin. And I put that into use. And it really did change my life. I'd start to be friendly with the people and get into their lives. And it was good. It was good. And it changed my life in a large fashion. But I still had this inferiority complex, and in order to it was like I wanted to escape all the time from this world, or hey, give me an island out in the ocean, and where I don't have to deal with any kind of laws or anything like this, and so I went in to try to. Figured maybe money would get me out of this. If you had enough money, you could maybe do this. You could buy your own island or something, but I don't know. Strange things go on in a person's mind. So I tried to really generate money. So what I would do is, I had lists. I'd list everything I did in a day. I'd get up in the morning. I'd jump in the car. And I'd write in my book, day, time I left home, where I went, what coffee shop I stopped at, who I talked to, everything I did in my day. I filled up books and books and books and books and books, and it really worked. I could go back in these books and I could look back in pages, and I could see what I didn't do, who I talked to, where I was, and it helped generate. Hey, financial, and then you start to get ideas, and then I went into buying rental properties, and I used Carlton Sheets no down payment, no money down program, and then I was monopolizing houses, and that allowed me to buy toys and sit on a beach. But like I say, it didn't really, I started to feel like this wasn't really helping me. I couldn't take anything with me. It was, and I was bored with it. And then things started to fall apart. I got into protesting, looking at all the, then, when I did wake up, I thought, wow, these people are doing a lot of nasty things to people. And I went into fighting it. And I tried to expose things. I tried to expose the fact that, well, the income tax was unconstitutional, collected, it was never really, and if you go by the Constitution, the federal government was never supposed to collect any tax. And, but, it's all a game. They write the rules. They write the Constitution. It was made by man. It can be changed by man. The British North America Act, which it was, and, was Magna Carta. They could change all this stuff. It's written by man. It could be, and we don't really have rights. We think we have rights, but look at when the war went on with Japan there, just because people were born, they're born in this country, or their parents were born in this country, but yet they were Japanese. They were put in prisoner camps. No, if we did have rights, we have privileges. Like it's been said, we don't have any rights, really. So we have to just slide along in this somehow and try to make our lives as best we can, somehow. And as I say, if you just get out a book, a dual tang, I got a dual tang here, and I put dates on every page, and I write some like appointments in the back, and as I come along, and I'll write dates of appointments or events and stuff, pages and pages down. Like I turn pages down, put dates, and write things in. And you may think it's crazy, but this works. And like people think, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta take these courses, and yes, lots of things do work. And I'm not saying do not take the courses, but while you're taking these courses or trainings or reading books or watching videos on motivation, write your day log, and you know what, you'll see in a very short time, if you do it every day, and write down different things you could do to help yourself, make sure you do 3 of them. You've got to do 3 things a day in order to accelerate this thing to some degree. And if you try to do more, well, you know what? It overwhelms you sometimes. But write a lot of ideas down. Anything you do, if you do something, just write it down. What did I do today? Well, I fixed something around the house. Okay, I fixed something. You check that off, and all the things you didn't do, like I'm supposed to be listing a few different things for sale, I'm supposed to be talking to a few different people. Any idea that comes in, you write it down on that page. Anything that you do, you check it off. The next morning, you get up, you turn the page, you go to the next page, put numbers down, and flip back, say things you didn't do, think of new ideas. Every day has to be like a diary. And you'll be surprised in a very short time. You think, oh, this is going to take a long time. It's such little wee things. But it opens your mind to different ideas. And then you've got to think of a new thing. And then you end up watching the program, like this Golden guy puts out. And then you think, oh, man, you know what? I could write a book. For what people, not about your life. Don't write a book about your life. Nobody wants to hear about your life. I'm talking about my life. But I'm just trying to give you a little background. But if you were writing a book, nobody wants to hear my story. They want to hear what something can do for them. And that's why you're watching this video, because you want to know about something that can help you or help somebody else. It depends if you're introverted or extroverted. You have different thoughts on things. Anyway, I think I went along quite a bit longer than I really expected on this video. So I'm going to try to go on day by day here, and help people if I can in some way. Anyway, I'm going to conclude right now, and have a nice day. Get your book out. Write things down.